Good morning, I'm Nivareti Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Thursday, 1st of February. In this update, at the risk of antagonising China, New Zealand will explore deepening military ties with Australia, the US and UK at a Trans-Tasman meeting today. For the first time, New Zealand and Australian defence and foreign ministers meet in Melbourne as a foursome. Winston Peters is travelling with Defence Minister Judith Collins to meet with Penny Wong and Richard Marles. On the agenda are regional concerns in the Pacific, the broader Indo-Pacific and the growing crisis in the Middle East.
Well, the challenge is to pick up what is some considerably lost time or lack of definition as to what we're trying to do together and ensure that as we do so, New Zealand and Australian people realise what we're aiming for, which is a better, more secure part of the world.
The delegation returns home tonight. Former Prime Minister Bill English says the Crown needs to find its footing and give greater clarity about the limits of partnership with Māori. In an exclusive Herald interview, English says there'll always be debate about how democracy and the Treaty of Waitangi fit together. But English says that while Māori have become clearer about their direction, the Crown has lost a sense of itself. MPs are being called on to be transparent about any relationships they may have with tobacco companies. A briefing by Otago University public health academics highlights links between government ministers and the industry. The coalition government's planning to repeal smoke-free legislation, but one academic argues they're not following the public mandate. Co-director of Smoke-Free Research Group Aspire 2025, Professor Janet Hook, says ministers need to be completely open.
What we've identified is some concerning parallels between the arguments that they're using and arguments that we've seen in tobacco industry documents.
5 million free COVID tests will become available until the end of June, with hospitals still under strain. The government's working with Health New Zealand to make them available through a number of health providers and some pharmacies. Te Whatu Ora's National Public Health Service National Director Nick Chamberlain says it's going to cost just over $5 million. He says it's coming from the existing COVID budget. Several councils are struggling to change how they recycle, despite new rules coming into force today. Standardised recycling is the first step towards a new waste strategy for the country and requires paper, glass and plastic types 1, 2 and 5 to be recycled. But Clutha, Hurunui and Westland District Councils have until 2027 to add glass to their collection, while Gore has the same time frame to add paper and plastic. 7 other councils don't currently provide a curbside recycling service. A Ministry of Environment spokesperson says a proposal for all councils to provide the service has been agreed to. In sport, the Athletes Collective, led by former rower Mahe Drysdale, can finally enter into collective bargaining negotiations with High Performance Sport New Zealand after a year and a half of disputes over employment technicalities. Golfer Michael Hendry will contest the Open Championship at Royal Troon in July. He was stripped of the chance last year due to a leukemia diagnosis, but has confirmed the RNA governing body have extended his opportunity. Finally, former Kiwis League coach Sir Graham Lowe is backing Wayne Bennett to take charge of New Zealand. I'm Nivareti Manu. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.